Hey, Pokemon Masters, Birdkeeper Toby here, and here is the Pokemon Company International main offices in London. I have been invited up to Pokemon's headquarters to play bits of Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu that have never been played before, to see bits that have never been seen. I am among a handful, just 4 other people this morning who have got to play this game, 4 other YouTubers. So this is pretty exciting. I'm not allowed to record in there, I'm not allowed to record when we're playing the games, so I'm going to jump now to my bedroom where I'm going to tell you all about it. And before I forget to show you, the Pokemon International offices are amazing, adorned with figurines and plushies and game boxes, and one of every Pokemon in Pokemon card form on a cutting sheet. These must be worth thousands. And I am back in my room after having a wonderful time up in London. I've changed my shirt, I'm feeling fresh. So now, let me tell you my thoughts on Let's Go. And some of the stuff I'm about to tell you is exclusive to me and a handful of other people. I think going to this event over the next few days is maybe 30 people across the world from the UK. YouTubers specifically, you're talking about like maybe 4. Basically everyone who's ever been on the Elite 4 podcast, that is the roster. And myself included, and I know you just want to hear about Let's Go, but I first of all have to express how absolutely incredible it is for me. From the first time I picked up Pokemon Yellow and played it, the first game I played, to now where I get to play Let's Go Pikachu, go as a fan, to be invited by them to the office as a thank you for all the brand representation we've been doing over the last few years, just for Pokemon. To meet someone at the Pokemon Company, one of the game developers who watches the channel. Hi Pete from Pokemon, thanks for watching. I'm a fan of your work. This journey, I can't even comprehend it. Like, my brain just goes completely fuzzy because I got no way of describing how absolutely incredible and phenomenal that was. And none of that is possible without you watching, so thank you very much. For this video, I'm going to go through and confirm some things you might not know about Let's Go. There's some stuff that has never been spoken about before on the internet anywhere. I'm going to tell you about conversations that I had with people who worked at Pokemon that day. I'm going to tell you my thoughts. And then later today, I'm going to be uploading another video, which is just the general one that I will be uploading in the week. It's also about Let's Go, but this is a bonus video. And then later this week, I'm going to be showing you all of the gameplay, everything we did. So without further ado, I've got my notes. Let's jump into it. Okay, so the first thing that I've been asked about a ton, and people saying, hey Toby, when you go, can you ask about this? Can you find out, are items and abilities in the games? And by items, of course, people are talking about held items. No. Held items and abilities are not in the game, I can confirm. How does Mega Evolution happen? Well, there is something in the bag called the Battle Pocket. That's the area that would keep all your X defense, X attacks, that kind of thing, and it looks like by the icon of it, that's also where you're going to be keeping your Mega Stones. Again, you'll be able to see that in the gameplay. Something else I noticed in the game is Pokemon sizes. Now, we've already known about Pokemon sizes, and any Pokemon in the wild that have a red aura around them or a blue aura around them are either very, very big or very, very small. But that information is also catalogued in the Pokedex, which means for true Pokedex completionists, you might want to be catching a large and small of every single Pokemon. Oh, and speaking of the Pokedex, it looks like there's new Pokedex entries. We're not sure, me and Cerebi Joe, we couldn't decide whether that was the case or not, but some of them seemed fresh to me, so looks like maybe new ones are those. The Pokemon, this is the coolest thing, the Pokemon in the overworld react how the Pokemon would react. So for example, there's some Pokemon that are particularly hostile and some that are particularly docile. Butterfree will try and run away from you in Viridian Forest. Abra, you can only catch it if you're walking up behind it, because if it sees you, it teleports away. You'll immediately notice that there's some new Pokemon in the overworld. I caught an Oddish on Route 1, and in Let's Go Eevee, people were catching Bellsprout on Route 1. So we already knew they were in Viridian Forest, now we know they're on Route 1, but that means the version exclusives are the same, probably, as Red and Blue. Exclusive to Pokemon Red is the Ekans line, Growlithe line, Mankey line, Scyther, Electabuzz, and the Oddish line, so that makes Let's Go Pikachu Pokemon Red. And then the Bellsprout, Sandshrew, and Meowth lines, as well as Pinsir and Magmar, are exclusive to Let's Go Eevee, which was Pokemon Blue. Or I assume they're the case, because also is Vulpix. Vulpix and Ninetales are Pokemon Blue exclusives, and both of those, as well as Bellsprout, could be found in what we played of Let's Go Eevee. At the beginning of the game, Oak sends you to get a parcel from the Pokemon, but it is not the same parcel that you get in Red, Blue, and Yellow. Instead, it is a parcel of raspberries, an important item for this game, items that you use to help you catch Pokemon. A very popular item, of course, from Pokemon Go, who definitely seem to be the target audience of this game. That's not to say there's nothing in it for the hardcore fans, and actually I've got an Easter eggs video that I'm going to have coming out after the footage is out, where I'm going to be pointing out a whole bunch of little references and Easter eggs and things that could hint to more. as well as some stuff that you may have missed in the trailer that I've seen no one talk about. Anyway, other small little tidbits is in Viridian Forest, the final trainer that you encounter in Viridian Forest, usually there is grass in front of that trainer, but there's not anymore. And this might be to combat the thing that happened to me when I first played Pokemon Yellow, which is I walked in front of the trainer and then was immediately greeted by a wild battle because I was in the grass, and then had to finish the wild battle and then immediately get encountered by a trainer battle. I guess they've removed it for that purpose, where someone else can grab a Joy-Con and jump in with you. Their team is shared with your team. So it essentially just allows you to team up on an opponent with 2 Pokemon versus 1. I can see a lot of younger trainers just sitting there with the Joy-Con and the Pokeball Go Plus, and then just battling with 2 Pokemon versus 1 to take out some gyms, which I guess is a strategy. Premier Balls are in the game. I first originally thought it was just Pokeballs, Great Balls, and Ultra Balls, and probably the Master Ball I would have assumed, but it seems that Premier Balls are also in this game. I saw them on the shelf in the Pokemart, bought 10 Pokeballs, and I got a Premier Ball. At the beginning of the game, there are 2 Pokeballs on the desk in Oak Slab. Then you go out and catch Pikachu, and Pikachu is the 3rd. Your rival picks up Eevee, or I guess if you're playing Let's Go Eevee, it's the other way around, but there's still a Pokeball left over on the desk. What's that Pokemon? That's not something I have an answer to. I'm just curious. Can confirm that the PC in the box is no longer in the Pokemon Center. You carry it with you in your bag. You have access to the box from your bag, so you can just access it as you're traveling around. CP, combat power from Pokemon Go, is in the game in some form. It's something that one of the NPCs mentioned when I talked to them. What I will say is Absorb on an Oddish is kind of a little bit OP for the first gym. That's where we were allowed to play up till Brock's gym and defeat Brock. And yeah, I mean, that was great, and it allowed me to get through my run-through very, very quickly, but you can pretty much beat the whole start of the game just with Oddish, with an Absorb. I have been told by someone who works at Pokemon that, don't worry, it gets harder. And to be honest, what beginning of a Pokemon game isn't really easy, I guess. Areas where you'd assume there'd be double battles, where 2 trainers are looking in on you, are not actually double battles. They are just one at a time kind of thing. That said, double battles do exist in the game because we've seen in the trailers Team Rocket battling you in a double battle. Almost like they're not playing fair with the Kanto League rules, which is interesting because then you can just like wave your Joy-Con and bring a player to it and then double battle against one. So that kind of makes you like Team Rocket. And also there's a mechanic called catch combos, which is when you catch a string of Pokemon. Let's say you're in Viridian Forest and you catch a Caterpie and then you catch another one and then another one and another one. You rack up a catch combo. And this combo, while we don't know, we didn't have enough time to play with it, is very likely the shiny hunting mechanic. Or perhaps the Eevee hunting mechanic, a way of getting stronger Pokemon. We don't know for sure, and there is information about that over on Cerebi, but it seems to be that that's what that's going to be in the game. And finally, this is more a fun thing, an Easter egg, which I will be talking about in the Easter eggs video. I've got a whole bunch of other notes that are all more Easter eggs, but I really need to have the gameplay, which I don't get for a couple days. They'll send that to me, and then I can make that video, because I actually want to show you what's going on. But it appears that Team Rocket show up in Viridian City. This makes sense because if Giovanni is still the gym leader in the Viridian City gym, then that makes sense as to why they're there. But also what they're doing in Viridian City at the beginning of the game is acting as a replacement to the sleeping man from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow who blocks your path. And likely this is swapped out because in Japan, that character was not asleep, he was drunk. Which obviously isn't totally appropriate for a kid's game, so they've put in Team Rocket. Now, these were just some of the things I have in my notes. Like I say, there is lots there that are Easter eggs and references, and I can't wait to point those out when I actually get to show you the footage in a few days. And that's why there's another video later today, because I don't feel like this is a full video, it's more of a bonus video. Breaking to you or confirming to you information that isn't actually or hasn't been out there yet. It's only just being surfaced right now on sites like Cerebi.net, because Joe from Cerebi was there, and on a couple of other YouTube channels. This is an incredibly exclusive opportunity I got. I actually spoke with a couple of people in the Pokemon company. Like I say, there was this guy Pete who watches these videos, which is absolutely bizarre. We've gone full circle. And on top of that, I asked about a particular character, namely Trace. Trace being your rival in these games, whose design has been swapped out quite heavily from Gary/Green/Blue from Red, Blue, and Green. So I asked this person at Pokemon going, hey, you know, what's the deal with that? You know, like, what's going on? Are the 2 characters the same? Are they separate? Hang on, could we see them? And they said, no comment. They had no comment. And no comment to me means let your imagination run away with you a little bit. And the only reason I put that hope that maybe these aren't just replacement characters, maybe those other characters could be in the games, is because you no longer get the town map from the house where your rival was in Red, Blue, and Yellow. Usually you get it from Daisy Oak. And there was a town map up on the wall in this house as a sort of reference to that. But the girl who lives in that house, the girl that I assumed to be Daisy Oak, who's been addressed in the games as Daisy Oak before, that being the rival character's sister, does give you some items a little bit later on, but she's not called Daisy Oak, she's just called your friend's big sister.
And that just makes me wonder, why change the name? Why not Daisy Oak anymore? What was wrong with that? And Trace doesn't refer to Professor Oak as Gramps. I don't think Trace and Gary are necessarily supposed to be the same characters. I think they're different characters altogether, and that interests me because ever since I saw Trace, I thought there's no way this character is a champion at the end of the game like Blue was. There is just no way your friendly rival is going to be the champion. It's not like How, where he got a tough redesign. No, this is a friendly looking character, so the question is, who could the champion be? Maybe a returning or recurring character? I don't know, maybe. As I say, there's a new video about Let's Go coming out later on today, and later this week I'm going to be showing you all the footage of everything I played. That will be the first time I've ever uploaded gameplay onto the channel, and it's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour's worth of content. Thank you so much to the team at the Pokemon Company International for inviting me into their home, for allowing me to play Pokemon. Allowing me to play Pokemon Let's Go with them. That's so cool. I'm going to be seeing you soon with the footage. I hope you like those kind of videos, and I will do some commentary for them. I'm going to see whether I'm able to stream them and do some live commentary, perhaps on Twitch at some point, and then I'm going to have an Easter egg and references video sometime next week, pointing out all the things that you've missed, not just in the gameplay that you'll get to see, but also in the trailers that I feel like people have missed. There's a lot of stuff that people are not talking about. Key thing that I do want to say is, after talking to the guys who work at Pokemon, this game is not for competitive battling. It is not for competitive, serious players. And that's fine. That's probably next gen. This game is much like how Pokemon Yellow, at the time that Pokemon was in total mass swing in the 1990s, and everyone was collecting the cards and everyone was watching the show. They released Pokemon Yellow with Pikachu as the mascot because they knew it would get people who watched the show into the games. And I mean, that has served the Pokemon franchise incredibly well. Getting so many kids and people who liked exterior Pokemon stuff into the games, who have stuck with the franchise since then to now. I got into the franchise through Pokemon Yellow. And these games are clearly designed to be the exact same for people who have gotten in recently with Pokemon Go or who are just starting on their first adventure. If you are a hardcore Pokemon serious fan and you're liking battling and that kind of thing, one, these are just going to be a fun bit of relief. You still have the competitive games of Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and there will be new games out next year most likely. But in the meantime, for the sake of the whole Pokemon franchise and keeping its longevity and keeping it going, these games are going to be phenomenal. Based on what I played, if this was my first Pokemon adventure, I'd be more of a fan than I am already. And that's saying something. So I just want you to go forward with that. If you've got a younger sibling, maybe there's someone that you want to get interested in Pokemon, or you're just wanting a light-hearted bit of fun to hold you over this Christmas, then pick up a copy of Let's Go. And I've also been assured there's plenty in there for the hardcore fans. Like I said, I picked up on a ton of references and Easter eggs I'm going to be mentioning soon. So for the next week and a bit, and actually until Let's Go's out, you are welcome to think of this as your home for Let's Go. Feel free to leave a like and comment on the video. If you do, it acts as an entry towards a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a copy of Let's Go when it comes out, and if someone leaves a like and a comment, there's a chance that you might win it. And with that, I'll see you with a new Pokemon video later on today, as well as Let's Go gameplay later on this week. So hi, Pokemon Masters. Head on down to the links in the description to join us over on Patreon for all the exclusive perks. A thank you to those people who make this channel possible. And a big thank you to the massive patrons this month, UmbreonLibris and N3rd For You. Thank you.